but I think it's possibly maybe one of the better ways for me to try and show you different aspects of the game. As I said to you in the messages, I can't urge strongly enough that you look at getting a joystick, a flight stick. As I said, I've got a Thrustmaster T Flight Hotus X. That is a stick and throttle. But I had a look online today, and I think I sent you a link, and there's actually one of these sticks that's a lot cheaper by itself that actually has a little throttle built in to the stick itself. But the throttle's not really the problem. You can control that quite easily on the keyboard by remapping. I think it's probably these sort of movements, roll and pitch, and even yaw. I can even yaw, as you can see with my joystick by turning the handle left and right. Not very fast. Obviously, yawing is slow, but it can still be done. Now, I'll show you. Go through a few things in this vid. The first one I want to show you is fuel scooping, because you're going to get a fuel scoop, then you're going to say, how do I scoop fuel? You can see we're in the Sol system now, and of course the Sol system is home to our Mother Earth, and all the other beautiful planets we have in this system. Interestingly, they've done something pretty cool with this system, and bearing in mind this game is set 1,000 or more years in the future. So here's the system map, alright? There's Mercury. You can actually land on Mercury. That is pretty cool. Mercury has a space station called the Daedalus. Venus, you can't land on Venus. It has a station too. There's good old Earth, and it has a couple of stations. Abraham Lincoln, the Li Qingzhou, the M. Gorbachev, pretty cool. Obviously the Moon, which you can't land on the Moon yet. We're all hoping that they change that in the near future. Galileo, which orbits the Moon. And Mars. Mars is actually a habitable planet because they terraformed it. Cool. And it has a station called Mars High. And of course, old friends Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto is still there, but they've added all these cool little planetoids, and this one right out here called Persephone, which is 450,000 light seconds. That's a long way to go. So there's all these cool little planets. You can land on planetoids out here. I'm not sure why they've added all those. I think there's a theory out there somewhere that there's more to the end of the solar system than Pluto that we don't know about. Who knows? And these guys have moons that you would know that you can land on as well. In fact, I was just out at Ganymede here. I was collecting some materials on Ganymede, and as you can see, when this clears up like that, it's got these cool red lines running through Ganymede. So it's pretty accurate. It's actually pretty awesome the way the game's done that. And you can land on and in these red lines. And I was cruising around in my SRV before, looking for materials, which is actually a cool part of the game, the SRVs, that I can't wait to show you. It took me a little while to get used to driving it and setting it up, and again, it's another reason why it's nice to have a throttle and joystick. It's a bit easier to drive. I found that way than with keyboard and mouse. Anyway, so this is the solar system. That's where I am currently about 800 light seconds, away from Sol. So I'm going to fly towards it. I'm in Super Cruise at the moment. You can tell I'm in Super Cruise for a couple of reasons. One, you can see the orbital lines, right? You can see the orbital lines around Sol, the Sun. You can turn those on and off. It should be the plus equals key. Turn them off, like that. Turn them back on. I tend to leave them on because it helps orient me a little bit in certain situations. Apparently people in VR, they don't like to leave them on. I can sort of understand that, but that doesn't really bother us right now. So we're in Super Cruise, and you can tell that by the order lines. You can also tell that by the speed that we're going. Even if we stop, right? We come to a full stop, you can see the speed going down to about 30 kilometers a second it should stop at. Now, that's obviously really quick, okay, even at 30 kilometers a second, so you can tell you're in Super Cruise by looking at that, if nothing else. Um, if you're not in Super Cruise and you come to standstill, you'll be dead still. You'll be 0, 0, right? But in normal speed, you're only going at whatever 300 meters a second or whatever it is. Still pretty quick, obviously, but nothing like in Super Cruise. So we fly slowly towards Sol. Right? It starts to get pretty big pretty quickly. Now, basically with fuel scooping, it happens automatically, but you do need I guess how fast you're going. So we're going to slow right down here. So we're actually going pretty quick, and B, how close you are. If you're too close, you'll drop out of Super Cruise, and that can do a little bit of damage to your ship, but getting away from the star will do more damage because engaging Super Cruise or even jumping away.
Charging Super Cruise drive.
Now. No, do that. Cancel. Ah, damn it. I have voice attack on now, because you can't scoop while you're not in Super Cruise, right? So we need to reactivate Super Cruise, and this is going to be interesting to show you whether I heat up a lot. You can see my heat not too bad. I'm obviously not that close, right? So that's okay.
4, 3.
All right. So once we hit Super Cruise,
1. Engage.
when we get close to the sun, the other reason to have orbital lines on is when we get close to Sol, you'll see a line appear around it. That'll be the corona, and it helps you judge. Yeah, get a bit closer. Come on, where's my scoop?
Fuel scooping.
There you go. See that line? Now, when you're scooping, my suggestion is
Fuel scooping
keep that
complete.
line sits at the top of my screen. Right? Now my fuel scooping is complete because I've got a decent fuel scoop, and obviously my tank filled up. But you can see I'm keeping that line at the top of my screen. If I start to go closer like this, and I can see the sun, you watch my heat go up 67, 69, right? 71. If that gets to 80, I'll start getting a warning, and at 100, I'll start taking damage. So I'll just move away from the star a bit. Alright, and start cooling down.
Fuel scoop
78,
disengaged.
76. Okay, you see smoke, literally smoke coming off my ship because we were starting to get hot. Okay, so we cool down pretty quickly. We're at 52, 50, 47. Let's go back in, alright? So, this line that appears, alright? You can see I'm going quite slowly now. I've got only a fraction of the throttle because with fuel scooping you don't need to be moving. Alright, I'll show you. I can come to a standstill and you can see that my scoop is still active. Right? I come to a standstill right there and I can just stop and keep scooping fuel. And in fact, when you have a ship with a small fuel scoop, and your Sidewinder will, because it doesn't have very many big compartments, and I'll go through that again shortly, you will scoop fuel slowly. The smaller the scoop and the lower the class of the fuel, the slower you'll scoop fuel. Okay. So that's enough about fuel scooping. Okay. Essentially, obviously, be careful. You know, when you're traveling distances, you know, you want to jump into a star. When you, let me show you something really quickly here. Let me select another. System away from Sol. Alpha Centauri. There you go. The closest. So say I was I'm going to start my warp drive here, but I'm going to cancel it. If you look up at the top right of my screen under info, you can see there it says discover new signal sources, 9 new contacts, 1 contact lost, 3 new contacts. When I hit engage the drive to Alpha, look at the information that pops up. I'm going to cancel it, we don't want to go there. But look at this, right? Preparing to jump, star class G, and then it says medium security in the middle and clean. But star class G is important because you can scoop fuel from certain types of stars, and I'll show you how to know which ones they are. Let me just turn back.
Galaxy map.
Galaxy map. Okay. In your galaxy map here, you have this function with the little star symbol. If you look at the map and filter by star class, the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars are all scoopable. So you can filter your galaxy map, the orbital, the route lines, to make it easier to see. You can filter your galaxy map by the scoopable stars only, which means it's not showing the stars that you can't scoop at. Anagram, yeah, not acronym, anagram, whatever it is. To remember is it says KGB foam, or another one I heard was fog kabam, driving in the fog and kabam, right? The OBAKM scoopable. These other ones are not. Okay, so you know that's sometimes a good way to plot a route, especially if you've got a little craft that doesn't have a lot of big fuel tank, and you know you sort of still pretty slow, or you sort of get off. Wow, where's the nearest scoopable star? I'll just filter by these, and okay, there it is. Bang, let's go there. Okay. So I guess that's fuel scooping. Okay, remember, don't get too close to the sun. You don't have to fly around the sun, but of course if you're plotting a route and you're heading towards your next one, you can just slow right down, scoop nice and slowly at a good distance, fill your tank up, and then head towards that next destination. And you know, when you I like to scoop at every single star to keep my tank full. It's just a precautionary thing. I got the other number tanks, and you can call them, and which is really awesome. And I got on their website and I said, yeah, I've run out of fuel and this is where I am. And they came and yeah, they refueled me, which was pretty cool. And I met a pretty cool guy. It was a good experience. Alright, so I'm going to go out to Mars High here. And I'm going to run through landing in a station again. Now the other thing I'm going to show you when we get out of Super Cruise is I'm going to talk to you about flight